Jerem Jordan alongside former All-American USA player Amy Gant. And Amy, we knew this would be a lit environment, but this might be the biggest crowd BYU women's volleyball has ever had, and it's a huge match.
It is. I think both coaches have said this is going to be an epic battle. There's so much on the line for both of these teams, and it's always big whenever BYU plays Utah.
They played in September. BYU swept Utah. It's been almost 3 months. Both these teams are very different.
Yeah, exactly. You go through a conference season, so much happens. You get comfortable with your team. You kind of work out the kinks, and then you're supposed to be playing your best volleyball in December. That's what both these teams hope, and it's definitely be a knockdown, drag-out fight.
This will be the final match played here. Probably Pitt next week, perhaps Purdue, depending on how Pitt does. So this is it for several seniors for this BYU squad, and it is packed in here already. We're going to push 5,500 plus in here. Let's check out the starting lineup for the Utes. 22-8 defeated Utah Valley yesterday in 4. Keep an eye on Danny Drew. She's the real deal, two-time first-team All-American.
It will be hard to not see all that Danny Drews does for this team, whether it's offensively, defensively. She is that leader, and she's going to be the one that it's all on her shoulders. Obviously, she's got a lot of talent around her, but Drews is the player to watch.
Utah's coached by Beth Lanier, 32nd season. Starters for number 5 BYU as the crowd chants their names. Kenzie Kerber played 4 years at Utah, 3-time All-American. She played with so much emotion that she cramped on September 16th. She had 14 kills against the Utes in the sweep.
And she's playing such incredible volleyball for BYU. The player of the year for the conference, and she just gets better and better, and you can bet that against her old team, Utah, she's really gonna bring everything she has.
This is going to be fun. BYU and Utah for the second time this season, and my goodness, this matchup of coaches as well. Heather Olmstead, the winningest coach in volleyball by percentage, looking for her 5th Sweet 16. Beth Lanier and Utah in 2019 took down BYU in this situation in Provo to get to the Sweet 16. That's the last loss at home for BYU, and we are underway in the second round of the NCAA tournament. The former BYU Cougar, Maddie Robinson, who was on the 2018 Final Four team for BYU, gets the kill for Utah.
I think it's so important that both of these teams look to come out on fire from the get-go. It's going to be important for Utah, obviously, to try to silence this crowd by maintaining control.
It will be hard to do that. Kerber out of the middle. So much emotion from Kerber, who made the switch. Each team's got a player that used to play for the other.
Well, and you look just so quick to Kenzie Kerber establishing her, and watch where she is, because out of the middle, out of the back row, they find a way to get Kerber the ball.
Whitney Bauer goes long. She was a freshman starter on that team in 2019, and says that was a very negative experience and remembrance. And so she is looking for a win to sort of avenge that in her mind, perhaps, from 2019 as a freshman. Here's Vanessa Ramirez, the sophomore libero, had 3 aces yesterday against UVU. Reiner, good pass to Bauer. Everything in play. Kerber again up the middle. So BYU quickly opening up the toolbox for Kerber.
Well, and I think we talked to both these coaches, and they both talked about how important it would be to serve so tough to keep the other team out of system. You look at BYU, they have so many weapons that the only chance that teams have is to get them off the net with their pass, because if they have a choice, it's going to be tough to stop.
Jankowicz to Danny Drews. Maddie Allen with the dig. One-handed, and then Eschenberg puts it down. 3-2. Maddie Allen comes over and gets a huge hug from Kerber after that amazing dig on the first-team All-American.
And what a save again from Bauer, who's in the back row. So all she can do is try to save that ball, and credit Eschenberg for being up and available.
Talked about aces. Utah had 9 yesterday. BYU had 10. As Drews didn't handle it the best, but she could make something happen here. Good swing out of system. Kerber, soft block. Weatherington, it's going to be tight on the net. Point BYU, because Jankowicz is a back row player right now.
And that's always that interesting call. It comes down to what the official thinks. When it's there at that 50-50 ball in the middle, it could either be called back row attack or over. BYU gets that point, though.
So was it over? Is that what you're saying?
I think it could have been the argument.
Weatherington down the line for the kill, 4-3. This is going to be a battle of epic proportions. It not only is it BYU-Utah, it's the NCAA tournament, it's the final home game. Both are in the top 16. I mean, this is, you could argue, this is the biggest game in the history of this rivalry.
And you look at what these two teams, the quality that both these teams are at this point in the season, nobody's giving away any free points. All of these points are going to have to be earned, and it's going to be a fight, and there may be really long rallies. They have to stay patient. So by the end of this match, not only are these players going to be physically exhausted, but mentally as well. Both coaches extremely respectful of the other team and saying, it's going to be a huge match. We've really got to bring it to play tonight. As that one is too hot to handle as Jankowicz bumps into the net after the tough serve receive, and it's BYU up 6-3. Service pressure. Maddie Allen's #1 on the team in aces. Exactly. So many players on this BYU team have a really, really strong serve, and one after another, that's really hard in passing lanes. Danny Drews, first kill, first of probably many. She was not great, to say the least, in September. 7 kills at 0.88. Heather Olmstead told us that was a huge anomaly. So we're not going to be able to slow her down. Yeah, exactly. I think Drews just has so many different swings. She's so athletic, so smart. Is one of the best players to ever play at the University of Utah, and she just continues to just look so good. Taylor Ballard-Nixon gets the kill on her first swing. That's going to be a big storyline because the last 4 matches, Taylor Ballard-Nixon hasn't played her best. So we'll see what she brings tonight. Has been really good from the service line. I'm talking hitting the ball specifically. Kenzie Kerber, the Utah transfer. Robinson back over. Robinson hits it. Knighting up. Bauer. Good cover, but hit out by Ballard-Nixon. No touch there. And points Utah 7-5. Look at Maddie Allen digging that ball with barely anyone up. BYU can't convert, and Utah again just keeps that pressure on. They are really working hard behind the service line. Knighting went up with Jankowicz. So it left it one-on-one. This is at the net for Utah. BYU lucky to get it back. Kerber, like no approach, got dug up by Danny Drews. Robinson cuts it too extreme into the BYU coaching staff. Hits one of the BYU staffers. Heather Olmstead going to make sure she's okay. She looks like she's fine. More, you know, the person's fine. Also, the dad on the laptop's fine, which is good, but secondary, of course. 7-6. You look at Robinson, every approach is just going to be 100%. She works so hard in the front row. Ballard-Nixon, a little slower ball. Drews with the dig. Robinson back to Drews. Oh, set it back over. Knighting put it back over. Did not mean to do that. Utah trying to take advantage. Drews. Allen pops it up. Whitney Bauer on her knees with the dig. Danny Drews, great dig. Robinson to the backcourt. What a shot. We're tied at 7. And already it is all tied up, 7-7. There was no slow start for either of these teams. They both came out firing, playing incredible volleyball. And what a shot for Robinson to finish that off. Both showed up to the gym in a lather already. Let's go. Quick to Knighting, just into the net. Disconnection there. And it's because of the serve. You can see where Bauer was on the court. She wants to get her middles involved, but the further she is off the net, she has to slow it down. It throws everything off, and that's due to the strong serve that Utah's come out with. McMurtry, on a 4-0 run here. Overpass and down. So BYU cannot handle the serve right now. From Kylie McMurtry, the senior from Idaho Falls, timeout Cougars. And Utah feeling good. The fans in crimson here in Provo, up 9-7. Overpass kill from Jankowicz. Timeout Utah. We'll be back in a moment here on ESPN+. Utah on a 5-0 run to go up 9-7 here in set 1 of the second round of the NCAA tournament. Winner gets Purdue. Taylor Ballard-Nixon. Soft block, still in. Bauer took it on 1. And Ballard-Nixon is stuffed by Allie Olsen. And Utah on a 6-0 run and up 3. And you look at this as exactly what Utah talked about coming into this match. How do they neutralize the middles, which is keep BYU's middles out of the offense entirely, and that's with the serve. BYU has not gotten a pass up to the net in about 5 or 6 passes. Kylie McMurtry goes long, and that finally gets her off the line. If you're a Utah fan, that was a heck of a run, 6-0. BYU breathing a sigh of relief just to
get McMurtry out of the way there. She was tough from the serve, 10-8. Ballard-Nixon. Jankowicz slide to Olsen off of Ballard-Nixon, 11-8. Again, the last loss BYU had on this court, 23-match win streak, goes back to 2019. It was Utah. It was the second round of the NCAA tournament, and another epic match where Utah, probably a team that maybe even makes a run to Elite Eight, Final Four, who knows? They took 2 sets off Stanford in the Sweet 16. No one else did that in that tournament. Stanford won the Natty, and Allie Olsen again, 12-8. Right now, BYU cannot get a good pass or a good hit.
Yeah, that offensive rhythm is really eluding them, whereas last night in their match against Boise State, everything was coming easy. Right now, nope, not at all. I think Utah giving them everything they can handle behind that service line.
And Knighting goes long. Look at this, an 8-1 run for Utah. BYU felt like there was touch. Maybe the coaching staff talking to the players. No one felt like there was touch. From our angle on this side, we're close to it. No touch. And Utah's up 5. And BYU in unfamiliar territory here.
And the tense, right? They're tense, they're tight, they're forcing things that aren't there, not waiting for their shot. You can really feel how much is on the line.
Utah bringing it from the service line, throwing up a big block.
I think Kerber out of the back row, always a good choice, especially with just one block. She's got either corner to hit.
All 3 kills are from the middle of the court as Hifo goes into the net. Perhaps nerves there. Did break her hand 3 weeks ago, miraculously played yesterday, and tonight had 2 aces, and it's 14-9. Hifo, one of BYU's better servers, for her to go into the net in this moment is tough, trying to make this comeback down 5 here. Livingston had a tremendous match yesterday, 15 kills. Danny Drews off the block and out, 15-9. Danny Drews with her 2nd kill on 6 swings, and the 2nd and final timeout of the set, used at .9 for BYU, perhaps the earliest in a match this season. Timeout on the court, we'll step aside. Utah up 6 in set 1. Utah at 15-9, Maddie Robinson will serve it up for the Utes and goes long. 2 service errors for each team. BYU hitting .056 right now. Utah hitting .467. What's working so well for Utah?
I think you can break down volleyball into it's a serve and pass game. At its most basic level, everything stems from controlling the serve, that first contact, and right now Utah clearly winning that battle.
Jankowicz high for Weatherington, out. An unforced error. That deficit down to 4. BYU women's basketball beat Utah in the Huntsman Center, 85-80. Career high 33 from Paisley Harding earlier tonight. They just tweeted at women's volleyball from the women's basketball account. You ready to take care of your end of the double today? But right now, Utah Utes on top, and BYU cuts it down to 3 on the triple block by Kenzie Kerber.
And 3 quick points out of that timeout for BYU, gets them right back in this. And this is kind of what Utah experienced in their match yesterday with UVU, just really a roller coaster up and down battle where you've got to stay patient and ride the wave of momentum.
Bauer into the net.
But BYU giving a lot more points away in those unforced errors, in service errors, in hitting errors than we're used to seeing. They're usually really hitting at a high level, and this hitting percentage is very uncharacteristic.
8 freebies on the hitting and service errors, as you mentioned. Vanessa Ramirez cross court at Kerber to Bauer, high for Livingston, tipped. Jankowicz was deep, took advantage, 16-13.
And the only reason that tip works is because she was able to approach with so much power, as if she was going to hit hard the entire time, and then just at the last second switch that up. So a good choice from Livingston.
The first kill, Arian McComber, Washington State transfer, used to playing Utah. Zoey Weatherington, soft blocked and too far for Whitney Bauer, who dives 17-13. Weatherington, 3rd kill. Make it 2nd.
And this for BYU right here is a very critical point in this first set. If they want to make a run and try to get back, this is the time to make a point.
Bauer, Eschenberg, soft blocked. Jankowicz slide to Vanderwerf. Yes, 18-13. Amelia Vanderwerf from Middle Tennessee State. Jankowitz from Illinois State, a couple of transfers who would have a massive impact on Utah this year.
And Vanderwerf so fantastic in that play alone because she stopped and turned the ball into a free ball with the soft block and then transitioned to get the kill on the slide.
Kerber finally on the right side, dug up by Robinson. This is for a 6-point lead from Danny Drews. Maddie Allen brought her shovel. Ballard Nixon, yes. BYU staying in it with that. If it gets to 19-13, that's tough.
Yeah, that was a critical point, not only for where we are in this set, but also for Taylon Ballard Nixon. That's her first kill, or of the match, excuse me, second, and she needs to be very confident swinging out there.
Far bump set, and then Danny Drews gets it. Oh my gosh, that was 40 feet in the air. Tough to read, out of system, still got the kill. And that swings this open to a 5-point advantage for Utah.
And you look at Danny Drews, just her 4th kill, but already so much control, hasn't hit the same shot twice.
She's that good, she has so many tools in that toolbox. Ballard Nixon heating up. Make it 3 now, 19-15, BYU down 4 in set 1.
And you can feel BYU kind of finding their rhythm a bit. That pass was right on, allowing Bauer to get in the groove, get a good tempo on the ball, but hey, they're still down 4. There's a lot to make up here.
This is Kerber, the former Ute. Jankowitz quick to Maddie Robinson. McComber, BYU into the net. Heather Niding, 20-15. A sizable lead for Utah going into the final 5 points here. And Danny Drews with 4 kills, hitting .429.
And back to serve Kylie McMurtry for Utah. They're in a great scoring rotation right here to finish off this first set.
Good pass from Kerber. Niding hangs, soft blocked, one-handed stab by Jankowitz. Yet, Robinson, out! Now, that felt like it was maybe in. Utah feels like there's touch. We're gonna have our first challenge of the night from Beth. And here we go, touch is being challenged. Now, the question always is gonna be able to be seen. Was it McComber maybe that got the touch, which is interesting. Now, when the whole team reacts like that, it's probably touch.
Megan,
but
yeah,
we'll
you could see from her perspective, obviously one of the best ones supporting her teammate Robinson, who may have hit that though right through the seam. You could see Niding a little late to get over there to close. Not sure that there were fingers even available.
It's not a matter of whether it was touched, it's whether it's seen.
Yeah.
It really is.
Very conclusive evidence.
It's tough to capture every morsel of anything out there, especially when we're talking about fingers and scrapes, right? So we'll see what the call here is. A reminder that challenges in the NCAA tournament are a little different than the regular season, where depending on what league you were in, you had 2 or 3 wrong challenges, meaning you could have unlimited right. So we take another look. I don't really see it. And that ball's in. That ball is in. It's not a matter of touch. That ball is straight up in and out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they argue there. It looked like they were going for touch, however, even though that is clearly in.
Beth did challenge touch, but that is in. So we'll see what they call here. Will Ron Pelham go over and say, oh, it's in, okay, yeah, you got it. Or, no, exactly. I didn't see a touch. You don't get it.
You don't, yes, you have to challenge.
You have to be specific. There's only 5 things you can challenge. And Utah is in control right now. That was called out. Right now it's a 4-point set. If Utah gets this, suddenly goes up to 6, which would be tough to overcome here. Not impossible in front of a crowd like this, per se, with BYU's skill, but Utah has come out and thrown the first punch against BYU.
And I think that is the challenge then for Coach Lanier. Should we have challenged that? Are we going to get that point? Because either way, it's a momentum killer. There's only 5 points. You know, Utah in control at this point. Was that worth it to really cut that down?
Well, I'm interested to see what the call is here. Ron Pelham points at Utah, so Utah gets it. And he says it was in. So touch was challenged, but he went and saw that it was in, so he's like, okay, it's in. We're good.
I don't know that
he just pointed down
right.
as in
No,
right?
I agree, because it was in.
That wasn't what was challenged.
Right.
McMurtry, again, getting a point at least. Niding is blocked. She hasn't been blocked a lot this year. Second in the country. Just a tip by Ballard Nixon to Allie Olsen. who goes long, but was there touch on that? Now, if you're Utah, okay, no one's going after it for another challenge because you get 3 straight up. You don't want to use 2 right now, even if it was touched.
Right, and that was such a difficult rotation for BYU because Heather Knighting really struggling offensively. Taylor Ballard-Nixon and a front row setter. BYU not a lot of offensive options.
And this set is all but in the books. 22-16, BYU down 6 with 3 to go. It would be a remarkable comeback. Utah in control. BYU on a 22-match win streak has only lost 5 sets during this time, staring down the barrel of a 6. Jankowicz, ace! 23-16, it's all crimson right now in Provo as Jankowicz gets the ace.
Look at that angle from Jankowicz right down the middle. Miscommunication, you need lots of talk when you're attacking seams.
This is tight. Joust 1. And then BYU with the block. Keeping hope alive, 23-17. Utah can side its way out to a win here. What kind of momentum can BYU get, if any? Because Utah has come down in front of this massive crowd of 5,000 plus. We'll get the exact number when we have it. And gonna take set 1 here. Taylor Hefo, who went into the net the first time. Ramirez, not a great pass, way off the net for Robinson. Kerber with the dig. And then bumped over by Livingston. Danny Drews blocked by Eschenberg. Great read there. And then this is Reinert from Livingston. Ramirez. Jankowicz over to Robinson. Eschenberg steps in, takes Kerber out of it. Livingston gets touch. Back line, and then dunked by Jankowicz. Hefo with the diving dig. Up for Kerber. Ramirez, long rally here. Let's go, second round. Weatherington off of Hefo. Set point, Utah. What a play.
Fantastic rally. These 2 teams, we talked to their coaches and they knew that they would have to be patient. They would have to fight for every single point. Sometimes those rallies go really long and the momentum that you earn as it progresses, that was a big boost to Utah that they can even take into that second set.
Weatherington went off the tape and still got it. Tough pass. Allen inside for Livingston. Blocked and down. Utah takes set 1, 25-17. This is a BYU team that has lost 1 match all year and just lost its 6th set in this 22-match win streak.
And Utah came out, stuck to their game plan, played it tough, and controlled the serve. That was key for the Utes in that first set victory.
Maddie Robinson, 5 kills. Utah hits 300, BYU hits 100. We'll be back with set number 2 here on ESPN+. Set 1 goes the way of Utah, 25-17, led by Maddie Robinson's 5 kills. Danny Drew, Zoey Weatherington with 3 each as well. BYU's Ballard-Nixon and Kerber had 3, Eschenberg 2. BYU taken out of its offense, number 2 in the country in hit percentage and opponent hit percentage, but Utah strikes first in Provo.
Definitely one of the few times BYU has been limited and their offense really has been outdone. Only 9 kills in the first set. That's not what we're used to seeing from this BYU team.
Beth Lanier told us we're going to have to out-hit BYU in this. Our offense has got to keep up with theirs. Well, so far so good if you're a Utah fan. Aaron Livingston with the kill to start set 2. There's a lot of juice in this building. We know it's going to be a battle tonight. I'm expecting 4, maybe 5. I mean, this is going to go down to the wire.
And I think both teams knew it, and what it comes down to is how can you make changes within a match? Yes, you have a game plan coming in, but you've got to learn. You've got to make adjustments. You've got to be able to find ways to win based on what you're seeing.
Now, of note, as Taylor Hefo goes long on that 1-1, the Utah band is here. BYU opted not to have one. So, Ute band bringing some juice. BYU has had its band here before, 2018 in the Sweet 16 and Elite 8. Normally the band's not here. Kerber. Jankowicz with the dig. Ramirez high and outside for Drews. Off of Bauer and out. Now Drews really started like we talked about in September. Hit 0-8-8, 7 kills. BYU took her out of everything she was doing but she's got 4 kills hitting 400. This is the Danny Drews we kind of expected.
And you can see her decision making, especially on those out-of-system super high balls. She's electing to go right off Whitney Bauer to use hands, whereas in September she went off speed more, and BYU picked it up every time.
Free ball curled over by Livingston. This is tight on the net. Jankowitz to Olsen. Kerber kept it alive. Reiner aggressive inside to Livingston. Went high hands, no touch. Point Utah, 3-1.
And BYU again battling a little more, but just not finding the court. A couple unforced errors. Love to see how Eschenberg is moving along the net in the middle for BYU. She's slowing balls down, but just can't find a way to convert those.
Tip by Eschenberg, dug up by Weatherington. Allen on BYU side. Here's Eschenberg off of Olsen. 3-2. It's the final home match for several BYU seniors, one of which is Kennedy Eschenberg right there. 6th-year senior, had a red shirt. This is the extra COVID year. She's one of the all-time players in BYU history. Played on the Final Four team in 2018. She's been through a ton of battles like this one, and certainly remembers 2019 as well.
Well, and I think, like you said, that maturity, right, for both of these teams, those older players who've been through it, they're going to just kind of ride the wave. Don't get too emotional about anything. Just try to execute and play the point in front of you. But it's hard to not feel that emotion because there's a lot on the line.
I was going to say, there's a lot of people in here. It's getting warm. I mean, physically, and it's just packed. It's awesome. 4-3, Utah, who won the first set, 25-17. Livingston tipped off Weatherington, keeps it alive. The junior from Charlotte, Danny Drews, Maddie Allen back over. The scramble is on. Vanderwerf, Jankowitz, Weatherington, dug up by Bauer, set her out. Maddie Allen high and off the net for Livingston. And the dig by Robinson, Weatherington, free ball. Bauer over to Kerber. Oh, she's stuffed by Drews. They used to be homies, they weren't right there.
That's set a little tight. You can see Danny Drews using that athleticism. Watch how she reaches over the net, almost touches the ball before Kerber. And again, long rallies. Who's winning the long rallies? That is what kind of sucks your energy or invigorates you. And right now, Utah winning the long ones, just coming out quick in the second set, establishing that they're the ones in control.
They are in control, up a set, up 5-2 right now. Livingston, a laser beam down the line. She's getting the most sets right now, 12. She has 3 kills. She had 15 last night.
And she's making good choices again, really moving the ball around, utilizing that toolbox, a lot of different shots.
It's McComber, defensive specialist. Here's Drews. Oh! Drews unloads. Oh my gosh. A set me pass. And that was a massive kill.
And if you ever wonder what an incredible player Danny Drews is, especially as that left-handed outside. You don't see a lefty a ton on the outside, but Kerber should know by then. She's played enough with her.
That's a heck of a situation that BYU just got a point out of. Ballard Nixon, not a great pass on it. McComber just bumped it high. And Ballard Nixon, who can touch 10-3, went up and tooled it off the block inside.
Well, I think both these teams are going to have to learn to score out of system because the serving is just so intense.
Dumped perfectly by Jankowitz. You don't see a dump on the far right to the other far right on the other team very much.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think it's got so much room to travel, but she located that perfectly. She knew exactly where she wanted to put it.
7-4. Going down a set, down 3 here. Kerber through the block. Kenzie Kerber had 14 kills in an incredible match against Utah in September. WCC Player of the Year. Coming in so strong, finished the regular season with 33 kills, 26 digs in the last 2 matches. Really brought it defensively as well. 7-5, strong serve, and it's an ace. And BYU's down 1 now, 7-6.
I think that's a really tough ball to pass. You look at how she's going corner to corner, right? Cross court, the ball is moving and floating. It's really tough for Drews to handle that ball.
There's a certain emotional element to Kerber versus Utah here that's interesting, of course. Oh, nearly got a second one, but it went out. Went for the same spot, but Drews read it. 8-6 Utah. the Utes have been in control of this match. That's not something we have said. As McMurtry goes back to the line, she fueled that long rally, 6-0, and gets the overpass.
Right, and she, coupled with the good serve, but also BYU not in a good scoring rotation right here offensively.
And McMurtry, every time she's come to the line, has gotten at least a point. 9-6 Utes, who won the first set by 8.
Right, BYU in that two-hitter situation, so they only have 2 options. Look for maybe Kerber out of the back row if they can get a pass.
Slide to 9 and got the touch. 9-7, and that takes McMurtry off the line.
And more importantly, Heather Nining with her first kill. She's a player that has been so good at hitting such high percentage, really struggling to get going against Utah.
0 for 5 with 2 errors until right then. Number 3 in the country at .464 hitting percentage off a mission. Ace from Ballard Nixon, 9-8.
And look at where these players are getting their aces. They're hitting sidelines just on a dime, very precise.
Ace man lays down another one. He's got 3. He was busy last night with 10. 9-8, Utah still in front. Slide to Olsen, tipped and down. Allie Olsen, the sophomore from Montana. 10-8. Utah heading .455 in this set.
Just incredible offensive effort. And you got to look at Utah, a team obviously that has been weathered by playing in the Pac-12, one of the best conferences in the country, night in and night out, playing the top teams, really have to be consistent.
Livingston off of Weatherington, 10-9. Beth Lanier was very proud of taking 3rd for the 2nd year in a row in the Pac-12. It's one of the toughest conferences to play in. 6 of the 12 made the NCAA tournament, and they came in on a roll, going 9-2 in the last 11 in the Pac. Beat UVU yesterday to get to the 2nd round here. It's a shame this isn't a Sweet 16 game, but
yes,
it is what it is in the NCAA tournament. Weatherington, Olsen on the overpass. Danny Drews out of the middle, touched by the BYU block and then off of Kerber. Danny Drews with 7 kills to lead the match.
Danny Drews coming after that. You see Zoey Weatherington coming in front, electing to tip on that ball. I think the coach has got off the bench. Hey, we need you to swing hard. She's got a cannon of an arm. No more off-speed stuff. Go for it.
She really does. It's fun to watch. 11-9 Utes. Eschenberg. Oh, late touch by Drews to keep that alive. Weatherington into the net. 11-10. BYU hitting .333, Utah 500.
Right, exactly. This is what we were expecting, that battle, point for point, side out volleyball.
Top hitting teams by kills per set in their conferences respectively. BYU number 2 in hitting percentage in the country. Drews, 8 kills on 17 swings, no errors for Danny Drews to go with 4 digs.
And Jankowicz doing an incredible job setting the offense, dictating the tempo as she puts that ball in perfect position for Drews to hit with a big open seam.
There's Vanessa Ramirez, who had 2 aces against Utah Valley. Goes at Kerber. Livingston down the line, 12-11.
I think you could say Livingston down the line for her last 5 kills. She is owning that spot, just hammering, and there's not a lot of space. And she's finding it. She's so quick to finish.
12-11. Utah won the first set by 8. Here's only dropped 6 sets the last 23 matches. 22-match win streak. Danny Drews done by Maddie Allen. Can BYU turn this? Ballard Nixon, yeah! We're tied at 12, and the crowd erupts. It's going crazy.
I think they recognize how big that was, because Danny Drews hammering that ball, yes, a great dig for BYU, but more importantly, they were able to convert that opportunity into a point.
Jankowicz over to Drews, tip, guess who's there? Whitney Bauer, she's good at reading that. High for Kerber. Kerber is blocked. Big block by the Utes to take the lead back as this crowd gets taken out of it on that play.
Vanderwerf again. Kerber felt like she had that angle, went really high with it, but Vanderwerf in great position. She has been such a big boost to this Utah team.
Transfer from Middle Tennessee State. That was real high and behind Kerber. Yet for Robinson inside of the BYU block. That is a heck of a swing, and Utah's up 14-12. Maddie Robinson with 7.
Robinson again out of the back row, just somehow sneaks that down the front of Eschenberg.
Megan Yett, tough serve. This is coming in hot. Allen bumps it back over. And Jankowicz, double contact. Turned and oddly just pushed with 2 hands. It's kind of weird. Gets called for the double contact there.
I think she was thinking, hey, that spot, everyone's sucked in. I'm going to push it to the deep corner.
Yeah.
Which would have been great. You see, defensively, no one was there, but a little mishit.
14-13 Utes. Trickled off the tape and down. And Maddie Allen with the ace has tied the match. BYU's leader, and now this crowd's back into it. Not that they ever really left. They're just waiting for something to cheer about.
Well, and about halfway through the second set, these two teams keeping it tight.
It is packed to the gills in here. 14s. Drews off the block of Knighting. 15-14. Oh, we're going to take a timeout strictly just for us so we can take our breath. Go use the bathroom. Go get something to eat, drink. We're going to be here a while. 16-14 Utes in set 2. Drews from the service line. Correction, I said 16-14. It's 15-14. Drews. That was a laser. Knighting dug up. It's been a tough night for Heather Knighting. 3rd in the country as Kerber takes that one out of bounds. Ballard Nixon. Utah in transition. Trying to increase that lead. Maddie Robinson off the block. Bauer. Allen. Kerber. This is high. She goes with the right hand. This is high for Maddie Robinson. Out of system. Block. We're tied at 15, and Kerber will go back to serve. She is intense right now.
Well, and the fight on both sides of the floor. And these blockers, that's a stuff block, but all of the soft blocking that we're seeing on both sides, these middle blockers working so hard, they're making huge benefits to the defense on their team.
Drews. Oh, and then the solo block by Ballard Nixon, and for just the second time in this set, BYU takes the lead.
Blocking, so important. You don't see on paper what it does, but you can feel it emotionally. It really brings intensity and confidence and can suck it out of the opponent.
16-15. Good serve from Kerber. Drews handled it. They tip this time again, and Allen had a shot at it. And now they say that was out. So Allen didn't actually end up touching it, which I thought she had dug that, but apparently not, as Jankowicz would come over and talk with Daphne Nelson. Another look at this. Oh, does it hit the antenna? No.
Something hits the antenna.
It hit the antenna, yeah, no, because Allen definitely touched it, yeah. So if it hits the candy cane there, that is out. Now Beth Lanier is arguing, no, it didn't touch that. You saw that?
Well, what hit the antenna? Did the ball?
Did anything?
Yeah, but it's moving, right?
Like, so David Height says, hey, that hits the antenna, BYU assistant coach. They're going to review in or out, which includes the antenna. So this is a big call at this juncture because BYU's up 2, already down a set by 8. If you're just joining us, where have you been? Great to have you. Jerem Jordan and Amy Ganton here. Utah won the first set by 8. Another look. Does this hit the antenna? Oh, I don't think it
so
does.
Tough.
It's hard to tell. Now, that line judge
and this
says
is gonna,
that it hit the antenna.
Right, and this is going to be one of those calls that, regardless of what actually happened, what do you see? What can you prove? Oh, that's so hard.
Oh, it's so, you don't see conclusively that it did.
Right, and did it only move because you could see the follow-through, of the foot on the pole, right? Vanderwerf is following through into the pole, which is just fine. You can do that. Did her follow-through into the pole wiggle the tape enough to have the antenna move?
And is that line judge influenced by the BYU assistant coach, David Height, who's right by him saying, hey, that was out. And then he looks and he has to make, did he see, right? If he felt like he saw that, so he calls it, of course. So that's a big play.
Regardless, this is a huge moment for both these teams. the outcome of this point, and more important, what happens after this point. As it settles down, who can come right back here firing? As we're more than halfway through, you could see Coach Olmstead really trying to fire her team up. This has to be a push out of this timeout, in essence, to generate the momentum.
And Utah will be down to 1 challenge regardless of the call. You get 3 straight up. Utah already up a set. Ron Pelham's going to make this call, and he says it's a jump. So we're going to replay.
Well, so does Beth Lanier get to keep that challenge?
She should keep it.
Yeah.
She should keep it, yeah. Oh, he says no. She says, do I get to keep it? And he's saying no.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with her on arguing.
And she said, wow, which I agree. Okay, so here's the thing. They didn't lose the point,
no.
But they didn't gain it. But I'm also wondering, why is it a jump? Why isn't it yes or no?
Right, because if it's inconclusive, then the call should stand.
Yes, it's black or white in this situation. It's yes or no. It's not, well, I'm not sure. It's a jump. So
and I agree, it was tough,
yeah.
You know, so.
Oh, Knighting with the stuff. And if you believe the ball don't lie, then BYU won the challenge.
With an exclamation point on that, and I think that was the most important point. Coming out, you know, out of a challenge, who can generate the momentum? That's the real key. And can BYU utilize this crowd to maybe generate a couple more points?
Kerber going at Drews. Kerber with the dig. Bauer. Ballard-Nixon goes long, no touch. BYU felt like there was touch. We're going to see a challenge from Heather Olmstead, BYU's first.
And you look at Drews, if you were watching just how much she takes, BYU serving her nearly every single ball at this point because they want to take her out of her approach rhythm. She's able to handle it and get all the different swings that she's taking. She's hitting .429 with 9 kills, despite passing nearly every single ball, digging a ton of balls. Able to make that transition from defense to offense is really, really tough.
And it's also tough to see on this one.
Yeah, if there was a touch on that play.
Yeah. We'll see what they call on this one. Beth Lanier's down to 1. Look from this side, and it'd be probably hard to tell here. You can tell on that. The crowd's watching the same angle that we're putting out there. They're like, yeah, that was a touch for sure, man. Really hard to tell. You're hitting 151 for the match, 250. Again, BYU is the second best in hitting percentage and opponent hitting percentage. I mean, BYU is one of the best teams in the country, ranked 5th. Utah 16th. Like, this should be a Sweet 16 kind of match. But here we are in the second round. Rivals, 2 tremendous coaches who have been in the game. Beth for 32 years, Heather for 7th year, and it is touch. Wow, we could see what we couldn't. I'm not wearing glasses, but I couldn't see that. Okay. At least it wasn't a jump.
Right, exactly.
18-15, look at that, BYU up 3.
That was a critical point right here.
Largest lead of the match, Amy. 3. Been that kind of night. Jankowicz slide, tip off of Ballard-Nixon. That was totally handleable and went off Ballard-Nixon. Tough play there. 18-16. Crucial moment. And David Hike coming over to Ballard-Nixon saying, just pop that up. Allen, Bauer goes to her knees. Ballard-Nixon off the block. Allen calls for it. Bauer over to Kerber. One-handed stab from Yet. Drews stuffed by Knighting! Whoa! And she gets shoved. Again, you either love or hate someone when you shove them. That's a loveful shove as Knighting stuffs Drews.
The solo block out of the middle, and Drews was full on 100% approaching on that play. BYU wanted to get out of that rotation as well.
Ballard-Nixon goes long. 19-17, still a set. This one's gonna go down to the wire too. 25-17 for Utah in the first set. BYU up 3 now.
And this is a good opportunity right here for Utah to score. Anytime BYU's in that two-hitter situation, they've struggled.
Into the net from Jankowicz. The fifth-year senior transfers from Illinois State, who Beth Lanier says was the perfect fit for her program. She's done a tremendous job stepping in at center this year. And now Heather Niding will serve it up, the 2018 ABCA National Newcomer of the Year. 2017. Ace! Niding! 21-17, and this place is going crazy. Timeout, Utah. Heather Niding with the ace. And BYU takes a 4-point advantage with 4 to go in set 2. Down a set, needing to tie this thing up. We will step aside. The remainder of set 2 coming up after this timeout on ESPN+. 21-18, Utah, Maddie Robinson back to serve.
Critical play right there to come out of that timeout and just nail that pass. Perfect set and a great swing from Robinson. That's just what Utah needed.
The former BYU Cougar. Played in the Final Four with the Cougars in 2018. Erin Livingston down the line. Erin Livingston is the go-to player for BYU right now. If it's not Niding, serving, or blocking, 6 kills for Erin.
Down the line again, and interesting, Utah, if I'm Utah, I'm thinking, let's take that line away and make her hit something else, because she continues to just hammer that ball, and a great set again from Bauer to allow her to do that.
Bauer keeps it in. This is tight for Jankowicz. Utah, nope, BYU, and Utah into the net. I thought for a second it was BYU who went up on the block. 23-18, BYU up 5 with 2 to go. Timeout, Utah. Second and final from Beth Lanier as they'll talk it over, and we will take it with them. We'll be back in 60 here on ESPN Plus after this replay, as Jankowicz was the one that bumped into the net, kind of stumbles after, and Utah down 5. We'll step aside. Whitney Bauer, BYU up 23-18. Set 2, down a set. Ramirez high for Danny Drews. Soft block, put down. Danny Drews, 10 kills, first to double figs. Big kill out of the timeout, Amy. Utah had to have it.
Right, and it didn't matter. Danny Drews can score in system, obviously, but it's because she can score out of system. You see on that super high ball, she's going to keep it high, go for high hands, make good choices. Doesn't matter, there's a huge double block in front of her. She's such a smart player.
Vanessa Ramirez. Erin Livingston into the net. 23-20. 3-point set. Utah's back in this. Timeout BYU. If it's not 2 challenges almost back-to-back, it's 3 timeouts in succession. As the intensity cranks up, the drama here, you're trying to avoid going down 2-0. We'll take the timeout as well. BYU 23, Utah 20 as Erin Livingston goes into the net. Line was taken. She went for angle, as you talked about. We'll be back in a moment on ESPN Plus. Out of BYU's timeout, 23-20, set 2. Utah's up, 1-0. That ball carries and lands in. 23-21, huge ace from Ramirez. And this lead for BYU is down to 2.
Incredible serve, so much float going corner to corner. And all that momentum again swings back to the Utes.
3 in a row from Utah. Kerber handles it this time. Eschenberg, set point to tie it up. Big swing by the 6th-year senior, whose husband Zach played on the men's team.
Eschenberg keeps that high, gets her 4th kill, just so solid, corner to corner.
Mary McComber, crowd on their feet. Drew steps in. She'll get it off the block of Kerber and out. 24-22, set point number 2 for BYU.
Right after taking that pass into the middle of the court, Drews is still able to come around and transition and get that kill off the block again.
11 kills, a match high. Yet at Allen. A lot to work with here. Eschenberg off of Yet. This is diggable. Free ball coming from Ramirez. BYU will be able to turn it perhaps for the set. Bauer next set. 25-22. We are tied at 1. This match had to go to a minimum of 4. And that's what we're doing, baby. BYU responds 25-22 as Drews kicked that one.
Yeah, what an angle from Nixon. Great set from Bauer. The block for Utah, not expecting it to go outside. Nixon takes advantage. BYU ties this one up.
25-17 for Utah in set 1. 25-22 for BYU in set 2. The Cougars hit 300 in that set. Utah 219. And BYU stays out here. Utah will go into the locker room. And we will be back to break it all down and have the pivotal set 3 coming up. Don't go anywhere. BYU and Utah in the second round of the NCAA tournament in front of 5,000 plus on ESPN+. BYU and Utah tied at 1 set apiece in the second round of the women's volleyball tournament. Utah won by 8, BYU won by 3. And here we go, it's the best of 3. Taylor Hefo will serve it up in front of 5,000 plus, we think. Packed house, let's go. Set 3. Jerem Jordan, Amy Gant with you. Thanks for being here. This is a fun one. Slide to Allie Olsen. Reinert, Hefo goes after it. Probably a wise decision not to go crazy on that one since she broke her hand 3 weeks ago as a screw inserted into the bone into her ring finger. So, yeah, take it easy. It's the first point. The match isn't on the line here. But every point counts, Amy.
It really does.
Maybe not worth the hand again. Tip from Eschenberg, and then Drews bats it, but out of bounds. 1-1.
And I think this third set is always so interesting because you have that long break where everyone gets a chance to kind of catch their breath a little bit, and the momentum, tempo, everything kind of has to start over from scratch. You have to fight your way back in and see who's going to come out and take control.
Drews goes long, not by much. It's an aggressive set from Jangowitz, 2-1. Wendy Bauer will go back to serve, the junior setter. She's been starting since the day she showed up on campus as a 17-year-old who should have been going to her senior year classes in high school, reclassified. Got here early, so she's an extra young junior. Allie Olsen up the middle, 2-2.
And the last 3 swings have kind of been off speed for both these teams. I think BYU came out serving really tough. Utah forced a little out of system action, but great shot again from Olsen. And that's one of the few tips that has fallen on this BYU team.
Vanessa Ramirez. Kerber doesn't handle the pass very well. So it's high for Livingston, and then she can't get it over. Reiner bumped it too far.
And that's the
third, a freebie.
Yeah, that's the third time that the defensive players on an errant pass have not bettered the ball. You know, you don't have to put it spot on, just put it high in the court, let somebody swing at it. It's tough on that to get it spot on.
Kerber, better pass to Bauer. Eschenberg, stop blocked. Weatherington through the block, 4-2 Utes.
And again, right there, Vanderwerf just touching that ball for Utah in the middle, slowing down the swing, turning it into a free ball that her team is able to transition. And Weatherington finding that angle. Her approach is not always exactly where she's facing. She's not going to hit that way, so it's tough to line up on Weatherington.
Kerber hits the antenna, 5-2. Utah out in front.
And I think Utah right now just putting a lot of pressure on Kenzie Kerber in the passing lanes, right? So mentally she's just exhausted, and that's really starting to affect how she's swinging. So you can see how BYU's pushed over.
Yep, Johnny Neely, the assistant coach, has adjusted the serve-receive formation and location. Eschenberg through the block. And that was a better pass.
It was a perfect pass, but that still is an emotional weight. And BYU's doing the exact same thing. You could see Danny Drews taking the majority of the passes. Not that she's struggling passing the ball, but just to give her that extra thing to think about that may translate into affecting her approach and her offense.
Harry McComber. Drews again. McComber, this is going to come down hot. It hits a funnel and comes straight down. 6-3. Danny Drews, 12 kills on 27 swings. And Utah starts hot again. They've kind of controlled a lot of this match here.
And you can feel BYU just a little bit more frantic and playing a little tighter like they were in that first set.
Just out. Right in front of the line judge. 6'4", Maddie Allen will serve. She does have an ace. BYU's top server this season. She has 2 aces, in fact, as you see Beth Lanier. 32nd year at Utah. Into the net from Jankowicz. 6'5", 2 in a row from the Cougars.
Good serve again. Maddie Allen, one of the best servers for this BYU team in a very good scoring rotation. You look at the front row for BYU, very, very tall with Kerber, Nixon, and Knighting.
Ramirez dips down. Drews off the block of Kerber. 7'5", 13 for Danny Drews, whose brothers played football at BYU, Cody and Jackson. Both tremendous players, both drafted in the NFL. So talk about the athleticism.
Well, and the parents. Her parents are like every...
Both 2-sport athletes.
Right.
Paul and Mickey. Someone goes wrong from Drews. Probably the greatest player ever at Utah. I mean, 2-time first-team All-American. That's never happened. She might do it a 3rd time this year. My goodness. Kerber will be an All-American as well, a 4-timer after this year. 7-6 Utah, set 3. We're tied at 1 apiece. Great to have you with us. This has been a tremendous match so far. We expect a great finish. Robinson, Ballard Nixon bumps it back over to BYU side. Out of the back row, Drews goes long. Oh, she only had 1 block up, but missed it.
And swinging hard just a couple times that Utah giving away a couple swings with some unforced errors, allowing BYU to work their way back into this 3rd set. Tie it up.
Kerber at Drews. Like I said, has been picked on. Oh, through the block. Vander Werf, the sophomore from Leavenworth, Kansas. 8-7 Utah. And look who's back at the line.
And Vander Werf again on that slide just opens up another option for Utah to really extend pin to pin their offense. Opens up some seams.
Ballard Nixon, soft blocked. Touched by McMurtry, but for the first time, I think, all night, McMurtry does not get a point from the service line. She's been awesome back there.
Exactly, that is a big point, not only for BYU, but to get out of that rotation that they've really struggled to side out in.
Ballard Nixon has an ace. Make it 2. And BYU takes the lead back, 9-8. Ballard Nixon was not a strong server in the first couple of years here. She's developed into a tremendous server. She's got that high approach, high attack, good athleticism. Yeah,
exactly. She's taking it from such a high angle. She's very long, and you watch how it's almost going straight down instead of up and over. She's got such an incredible float.
Great pass from Ramirez. Kind of responds after getting ace there as Jankowicz dumps for the kill, 9-9.
And with Jankowicz calling her own number there, what that's going to do is establish her as an offensive threat, right? So now the block for BYU has to respect her. They have to pay attention. They may be a little late getting outside to close.
Bauer high for Livingston. Erin Livingston emerging here at the end of her sophomore year as a go-to player for BYU, and you look at next year, she's going to be the 1-pin returning. And you look at her athleticism, how that has grown. She's really worked hard off the court to be as athletic as possible. At 6 foot, a little undersized, not really, but she jumps out of the gym. Her husband Hayden is a safety on the football team. Zoey Weatherington is stuffed by Eschenberg in the middle. And BYU's up 11-9. And you look at Eschenberg, the way she moves, not only is she going to line up, but you watch as she's going to drop that left hand right into the cross court. She's reading that play all the way. Pitt has taken down Penn State in 4, so Pitt will host the regional. One of these 2 teams headed that way to take on Purdue next week. Maddie Robinson, Hefo with the dig. Reiner. Livingston! Hide your kids, hide your life. My goodness, 12-9. Great set again. 2 good sets from Reinert in those out-of-system plays to pop that ball up, and BYU on a run. Livingston with 8, and BYU goes up 3 in set 3. We'll take a timeout here on ESPN+. 12-9, Brigham Young, set 3. Taylor Hefo back to serve. Again, she broke her hand 3 weeks ago. They thought she was out for the year. Showed up yesterday, had 2 aces. It's a miracle. It's crazy. Kenny Drews out of the back row. Kerber, Weatherington goes into the net. Is that still alive? Nope. No, the refs called it already. They said double contact. Okay, it got so loud, the BYU players couldn't hear the whistle, but then they turned and received it. So it's point BYU. Another look.
And look at Danny Drews just firing from behind that line. But
yeah, Weatherington touched it twice.
Exactly, What a great dig
13-9.
from Kerber.
Robinson blocked, kept in by Ramirez. What a dig. Robinson crushes it. Hefo there, the backup setter. Over to Livingston, off the block. And this crowd is going to another place right now, 14-9.
And it's these incredible defensive efforts, creating opportunities that BYU is able to transition because Utah hitting really, really well, and BYU absolutely stealing some of those kills.
Utah 111 in this set, BYU 556. Robinson, soft block, Hefo gets a touch. It keeps it alive, free ball from Kerber. Cougars up 5, tight on the net. Point BYU because Jankowicz allowed Livingston to touch it. 15-9, BYU rolling right now on a 5-0 run.
Now Jankowicz back row center again, and that pass just too tight to the net. She's doing all she can to save it.
And smart of Livingston to get that touch. Hefo, a bullet off Ramirez for the ace. And BYU is avalanching its way at the end of this set. Look at this crowd. Timeout Utes. Taylor Hefo, she was done. Had surgery. 9 days later, she was at practice. And then yesterday served up 2 aces, and now she's been part of this 7-0 run from the service line for BYU. Timeout on the court. We have the attendance tonight, 4,729, the 8th most in the Smith Fieldhouse for a women's volleyball match. An incredible crowd here tonight, top 10 all time. Pretty awesome. Yesterday's number included the first session. So that's why it was 53-40, the second most in BYU history. Maddie Robinson accepts that. Man, Weatherington gets the kill.
But Maddie Robinson went down.
She is hurt. She is limping. And she's going to jog and go back to serve here. But she is noticeably injured. Kind of wincing and blinking. Yeah, exhaling now, 16-10. See what kind of impact that has on her. BYU up 6 here. Eschenberg tip, yep. 17-10. Utah won the first set. BYU had to play really well to get a win in set 2, and now BYU rolling here in set 3. What has changed for the BYU offense?
These teams, you know, that's what volleyball is. You have momentum swings, and really you've got to just ride them out. Sometimes things are going your way, sometimes they're not, and regardless of what's happening on the floor, you just have to fight through and try to continue to execute. I think BYU found a rhythm offensively that was really tough to stop for Utah.
There's Ramirez. Allen, high for Bauer. Kerber in the middle. Kenzie Kerber, the former Ute, with just her 5th kill. She's been very quiet, but she's been doing a lot of good work in service too.
Well, and a difference there, you could see that Ramirez for the first time elected to go away from Kerber. She went down the line.
Allowing Kerber to get in on the play.
Exactly. She could run that in system right down the middle.
It's McComber, BYU up 18-11. Tied up at 1 set apiece. Second round of the NCAA tournament. Maddie Allen digs Danny Drews. Ballard Nixon off Ramirez, is diggable. Robinson chases after it, playing hurt. Drews, good spot at Kerber. Eschenberg in the middle. Kennedy Eschenberg, 8 for 13, no errors, and BYU is up 19-11.
And you can feel Whitney Bauer finding her groove in the setting lane. She's setting such a great tempo, finding her hitters well. This time you see her moving off the tape and is still able to get Eschenberg in a great position.
Mary McComber, BYU up 8. Jankowicz high for Weatherington, 2-step approach. Hit it out, BYU up 20-11, comfortable lead with 5 to go. BYU hitting .615 in this set, Utah 0.87.
Exactly, finding just that groove. And for BYU, it's all about continuing to execute, finish strong so you can take that momentum into the fourth set. For Utah, slow it down, find a way to side out.
Drews is blocked by Eschenberg and Kerber. Up the middle, dug up, and then Drews kills it. Danny Drews had a lot of kills in her career, approaching, 2,300. She knows what to do when that ball is up the net like that.
And Drew's really just so important to this program in general. Not only a fantastic athlete, but a great leader, a great teammate. Just really what you want in a player.
Kerber goes out, 20-13. Kerber, 5 kills, 4 errors. Had a really strong match against Utah in September. And BYU 1-3 on this court. Tonight, not so much. 7 digs, doing it in other ways, but offensively, it's been a struggle. McComber, it's a good pass to Ballard Nixon. How about that?
Very good set from McComber. And there, a lot of times, as fans, we look at the end result, right? But leading up to that, how easy was that for Nixon to make a great swing, obviously, but without McComber's terrific set, that doesn't happen.
Absolutely. Slide to Vanderwerf. Oh, the kill by Maddie Allen on the dig! What a play!
Protect your face and get a kill.
Look at Scott Sterling on this court. Maddie Allen. Oh, man. The dig kill.
That's pretty good.
22-13, joust at the net, won by Knighting.
Yeah, it looked like it. I think Knighting was all over that. She wanted to win that joust so bad and just pressed down into the tape. You could see Heather Olmstead out talking to her team, hey, finish this off. Don't let Utah back in. Not necessarily for this third set, but for the fourth. BYU really wants to maintain that momentum and level of play.
Maddie Allen, nice job not to net there. 22-15, BYU still up 7. And Utah trying to cut into this. And here's Danny Drews from the line. 2-time first-team All-American, first Utah player to ever do that. Heather Knighting, third in the country in hit percentage coming in. Just her second kill on 8 swings, hitting triple zeros now.
But that was maybe the first time we saw kind of that in system, a terrific set again from Bauer. High, good approach from Knighting.
It's Kenzie Kerber. As an ace. BYU has 7 as a team tonight. Robinson gets the kill. The former libero Heather Olmstead just kind of crouched down, got in her spot, was ready for that ball.
You love that swing again from Robinson. That set died a little bit inside. Robinson could have gone straight into the block, but it hits high, and everything with her approach just has these really sharp angles that are tough to stop.
McMurtry has been part of a lot of good runs from the service line. And Ballard Nixon, tough swing there. 23-17, this lead down to 6 for BYU. It was as high as 9 at 2011.
Right, and how did Utah win that first set with this type of serving? Just really rough pressure, forcing BYU.
There it is again.
Back behind the 3-meter line.
Maddie Robinson gets the touch. 23-18, this lead down to 5 now, and Heather Olmstead has seen enough. She's gonna, okay, they've done +4 since 2011. Let's talk about it. And it's now a 5-point lead. We'll step aside. Utah on a run here to cut this lead down to 5 in set number 3. Creating a run. BYU hiding Kenzie Kerber now in serve receive to try and get her more involved offensively. And then it's an ace for McMurtry.
I think you pull Kerber back in and hide Nixon. And that's what they're gonna do.
That's what they're doing. Amy Gant, that's why they paid the big bucks. 23-19. Amy broadcast the Olympics. That was a proud moment for me as your friend. That was awesome. That was so cool to watch. Kerber in serve receive there. Knighting on the slide. Oh! Kept alive. Is that? Oh, nope. They said it went down. Okay. Again, the crowd's so loud. It's hard to know. Looked at BYU. They had stopped. So, yeah, set point. Okay. Knighting gets the kill. Set point for Taylor Ballard-Nixon.
One of the best servers BYU has. Great opportunity right here to close it out.
2 aces. Off the tape, Ramirez dives. Maddie Robinson, the bullet off of Allen. 24-20, not over quite yet.
Maddie Robinson, love everything she puts into that approach. She does not waste any energy. It is all in those sharp, sharp swings.
Live your life like Maddie Robinson approaches a volleyball.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Here's Jankowicz, center. Great serve. Allen, high for Livingston. Off hands. Utah's got a chance here. Keep this going. Robinson gets it. Set point number 3, and the lead for BYU is down to 3. 24-21. Timeout BYU, second and final timeout. Maddie Robinson with her 12th.
Yeah, clearly momentum shift back. Utah in control, but can they come back enough to make it close in this third set?
We'll be back in a moment on ESPN+. 24-21. Both teams have exhausted their timeouts. And here we go. Steph Jankowicz from Farmington Hills, Michigan. Illinois State transfer. Kerber. Bauer. High for Livingston. Blocked! Utah again. Utah's on an 11-4 run after being down 20-11 and is within 1 point of making this a deuce set.
Right, and for the first time all match, Livingston blocked down the line.
Off the tape, Reinert. High for Knighting. Back to Weatherington, yes! 24-23, what a run by Utah, 12-4. Heather Olmstead's gonna challenge something. She has a card, she is challenging into the net on Utah.
I think it's more of a timeout than anything for BYU, as Utah doing this with Danny Drews in the backcourt. Maddie Robinson, Zoey Weatherington really stepping up big. You can see Coach Lanier, she's excited about this run.
Okay, let's watch this from the start. Nobody into the net there, no. Might just be a challenge.
But that's tough to use. You know, like you said, there's only 3 in the entire match. But I think it's just so critical how this particular set, so important for BYU to want to go up. You know, be up 2-1 against Utah, who has all the momentum. If Utah can come back and take this third set, that makes the fourth set just incredibly easy for the Utes.
It's 12-4 run for Utah since it was 2011. Heather Olmstead getting an explanation. Okay, here we go. It's a deuce set, which is incredible. Kerber. Knighting gets it, and that ends the set. Wow. BYU survives at the end there, because Utah came rolling down the hill. And BYU's Heather Knighting, third in the country in hitting percentage, 6'4", pounds the kill for the set 3 win. And now BYU's 1 set away from the Sweet 16 to take on Purdue at Pitt next week. But Utah back in it from a momentum standpoint. BYU up 2-1. Here we go to set 4 after the break. The 8th largest crowd at a home match in women's volleyball history. Let's watch BYU take set 3, 25-23. Now, if you're just showing up, it's all good. Great to have you. If you've been here the whole time, or partially, this has been a great match. BYU and Utah, longtime rivals. They first played in baseball back in 1895, and the game ended in a scoreless draw and a bench-clearing brawl, and thus set the tone for BYU and Utah over the years. It's been a fun rivalry. Congratulations to Utah for winning Pac-12 title last night, going to the Rose Bowl, first time for the Utes. Congrats on that. BYU awaiting what it hopes will be the best situation possible. The New Year's Six probably not going to play out for BYU, but we'll see if BYU can get a fun bowl matchup. We'll see what bowl. Find all that out tomorrow. Kenzie Kerber starts things off, the former Ute. We should tell you about some of the scores around women's volleyball. There are only 2 other matches being played right now. Everything else has been secured for the Sweet 16 bids. So who's in? Louisville, Florida, Pitt, Kansas, Ohio State, and Georgia Tech. Purdue gets the winner of this one. I'll take the rest after this. Zoey Weatherington dug up to the other side by Reiner. Weatherington again, off the block and into the antenna. Baylor and Minnesota through. Illinois upset Kentucky to take on Nebraska in the Sweet 16. Texas will play the winner of Washington and Hawaii. UW up a set. And UCF up a set on UCLA, who will take on, the winner of that will take on Wisconsin. Those are the Sweet 16 matchups and games in action right now. Joust won by Bauer, but on Utah's side now, and Robinson goes into that, 2-1. BYU up 2-1 in this one. Jerem Jordan, Amy Gant with you in the Smith Fieldhouse in Provo. 4,700 plus, 8th most ever to watch a match here. And this has been a great one. Utah struck first. BYU's won the last 2. Now the Cougars are 1 set away from the Sweet 16, and Utah's 1 set away from a crazy, perhaps 5th set as Danny Drews gets another kill. She has a match high in this one for Utah, 15 kills.
Well, and I think the interesting thing, you have 2 very high offensive teams going head-to-head, BYU and Utah, both just a ton of kills usually, and right now, Utah with almost 12 more kills on the night.
A lot of those came in set 1. BYU really struggled. Both are top 10 in kills per set in the country. 2 of the best offenses here as Erin Livingston gets her 10th, the first in double figures for BYU tonight.
And I think what we've seen so far in this 4th set that either bodes well for BYU is that they've been able to score on those out-of-system plays. What worries them probably is they need to kind of clean up the passing a little bit. And then for Utah, we saw Zoey Weatherington really come on in that 3rd set at the end. Obviously, the pins for Utah have been fantastic. You know, Drews and Robinson, but if they can get other players going, I think it's going to be great for the Utes to just expand that range and put pressure on the blocking lanes for BYU.
Amelia Vanderwerf right there, one of those other players doing stuff. Maddie Allen. Kerber blocked. Maddie Allen with covers to get that one. Kerber goes way high, no hands, and out. Shout out to the BYU women's soccer team, by the way, who last night played a scoreless draw through double OT with Santa Clara, went to penalty kicks, and won it after missing the first 2. BYU takes down Santa Clara. They'll play Florida State Monday night for the national championship. Best of luck to the BYU women's soccer team. They've never been to the Final Four, so never been to this place. And now Jennifer Rockwood, in year 27, has a chance at the national championship. It was an incredible match last night. WCC was going to get somebody in the title game. Congrats to Santa Clara on a tremendous year as well. 4-4. Drews is blocked. Robinson keeps it up. Jankowicz return to sender. Bauer keeps it alive. McComber inside for Ballard Nixon. Stop blocked. Slide. Boom. Goes the dynamite from Vanderwerf. 6-4 Utes.
Utah really doing a nice job. Jankowicz running a nice offense here. Good tempo. Finding all her hitters. Putting the balls in great position to really open up some seams.
Check that, 5-4, Drews. Triple block up on Niding, wow. Drews, handled by Bauer, nearly hits a speaker. Way outside for Ballard Nixon, and she goes out.
That was a good set, though.
Yeah, it was.
Good set. Ballard Nixon had a lot of court, hit high, good swing, and just missed.
Now it's 6-4 for Utah. BYU up 2-1. Winner gets Purdue in the Sweet 16. Drews off the tape. Bauer was facing it so she could see it was trickling off. Kerber with the tip, easily dug by Ramirez. Robinson off of McComber. Robinson hits it with so much pace, it's going to be hard to handle with the hands.
And you feel that Utah in control. They're the ones setting the tempo here. Won't be surprised if BYU calls an early timeout because BYU constantly on the defensive can never really find a way to get into their offense.
Service there from Danny Drews. Just the 6th from Utah. We always like to talk about altitude and elevation and what it does to the serve. Well, Utah is familiar. They're 45 minutes up the road. They get it. Utah Valley as well. This one yesterday against Utah. First round, Utah won in 4. BYU beat Boise State in 3. Slide to Vanderwerf. Blocked. Ballard Nixon.
Kerber walking a little gingerly after this play, and you could just see as a good block there from BYU. The toll it's taking on these players. Utah really trying to neutralize Kerber. She's had a lot of touches on the ball.
Robinson blocked, stays on Utah's side, reset. Drews out of the back row. Danny Drews. You can set her almost anywhere on the court.
Right, and it doesn't have to be in system. I think that's what's great. When you have a player that can score out of system plays, that takes a lot of pressure out of your passing lanes because it doesn't matter. Drew's making great choices again and just playing with that confidence and energy to finish off this set despite touching the ball a ton of times.
Ballard-Nixon off hands and down. So attack life like Maddie Robinson does an approach and make great choices like Danny Drews does on the court. Is that what you're telling me?
I think Danny Drews in general just, yeah, everything about her is just fantastic.
Okay, Taylor Ballard-Nixon. Her husband Dalton played basketball at BYU, part of that team in 2019-20 that beat number 2 Gonzaga there in the regular season for the Cougars at home. Dump by Bauer. She hasn't really gone to that tonight, but she dips into the well and pulls out a whole bucket full of water.
Love that choice right there. It's a slow. You see how high that pass went, so the block is waiting. They're ready to go back behind with Knighting running that slide. Have completely taken their eyes off of their setter. Bauer takes advantage.
Ballard-Nixon gets the ace. That one's in. Utah doesn't like it. And they might challenge it. Now remember, they just have one. And I think Beth Lanier, she's thinking about it.
I think she told her team, hey,
just play through
focus,
it.
Let's go.
9-8. Tight, Livingston. Yet right there. Back row to Drews, who went out. 10-8. Just his 4th hitting error tonight.
And look at the level of play that these teams have to achieve in order to earn a point. I mean, Danny Drews hit that ball out, but that was inches, right? It's just coming down to being so precise on both sides of the floor.
Tough serving from Kerber. And then the big block from Knighting and Bauer.
Well, and that's where Maddie Robinson, she's going to approach hard, but that set died a little bit inside, right in front of the block from Bauer and Knighting.
Off of Robinson, off the block, timeout Utah. BYU up 11-8 on a 5-0 run in the second round of the NCAA tournament here on ESPN+. 11-8, BYU in a 5-0 run. One set away from the Sweet 16. Utah trying to get this thing to 5 and pull off the upset, the comeback. Perfect pass. And Maddie Robinson goes out. Nope, got touch. Big swing there. 11-9 as the drama increases later into this match.
Good set again. Jankowicz pushing that ball out, staying out of the net.
Into the net from Jankowicz.
And this is an interesting situation right here for BYU. Taylor Hefo serving. Kennedy Eschenberg into the lineup. An opportunity right now for BYU to score some points.
Allie Olsen, not the strongest hit, but nice placement. 12-10.
And the speed that Jankowicz is maintaining the offense on the Utah side. Despite being off the net, she's back by the 3-meter line and is still setting. There was no arc on that ball. Very, very fast.
Off the high arms of Kerber. Livingston! Man, she has had a weekend. 11 kills.
You look at the pins right now for BYU stepping up. Obviously, BYU, we've talked all season about just how well diversified their offense is, how it doesn't have to be on the shoulders of one player. Case in point tonight, you look at Kenzie Kerber, only 6 kills, hitting not even 100, and yet BYU in good position.
And that block. Kenzie Kerber. Man. So, Robinson's approach, Drew's choices, diversify your financial portfolio like BYU's offense. Balanced.
There you go, just
I'm learning
life
so much.
lessons
I'm learning so
all
much
the
tonight.
way around.
It's great. I came here to learn. Bauer goes deep corner. Olsen heating up. Allie Olsen. 6 kills on 8 swings. 14-11. BYU up here. Winner gets Purdue, the 6th seed, overall in the tournament, at Pitt next week. Now remember, BYU's only loss is to Pitt. That's an Elite 8 match potentially. We'll see how things shake out. A lot of ball to be played here, specifically in this set. The dump, perfect from Bauer again. The two-hander, 15-11.
Well, that one a lot more gutsy than the first one. That was very gutsy from Whitney Bauer, calling her own number. She's off the net. And again, that middle of the court, definitely a hole right there in the defense.
As Arian McComber transfer from Washington State. Cross court with some pepper at Danny Drews. Jankowicz high for Weatherington. Zoey Weatherington with 8 kills now. Playing the right side. Transition to that after Kerber left. Got an injury in the spring, but has turned into a pretty good oppo this year.
I think that's a good point. You're talking about the spring. Like, that was a season for these players. You talk about the physical and mental exhaustion. They've played 2 full seasons, pretty much, without preseason, but in 8 months. And to be playing at your highest level, best volleyball, and have your body intact is pretty incredible.
Yes, it is. 16-12, Kennedy Eschenberg having a match as well. 9 for 14, no errors. And BYU's up 16-12 in set 4, up 2-1.
Eschenberg, again, that steady, consistent player for BYU.
WCC first teamer, 3rd in blocks among all active players in the NCAA. Danny Drews, number 2 in kills among active players, almost 2,300 to her name, and 16 kills, make it 17 tonight. And
another fantastic swing from Drews, but Jankowicz just doing such a nice job settling in. That's the difference when these two teams played in September, obviously. Jankowicz new to the program. She's clearly found her rhythm with all of these players. Robinson on the overpass. She has 16, 33 of the 56 combined kills from the big 2 for the Utes. It's all about the serve again. Danny Drews from behind the line, tons of pressure. Allen better pass this time, one-hander. Dug up, wow. And then Niding swings at it again. Rarely do you get the second chance, and Niding put it away, 17-14. So many balls just right on top of the tape. 50-50 balls, who's gonna win? Niding steps up. No joust there, just straight swing. No setters involved. Yeah, exactly. Vanderwerf was like, let's joust. Nope. Robinson over Kerber in the corner, 17-15. Again, BYU up 2-1. Cougars have won the last 2 sets after dropping the first one by 8. Kind of got shell-shocked. Came back and won by 3 and 2. It has been tight. And here's McMurtry, who's been the key to every run, it feels like, from Utah tonight. Probably not everyone, but most of them. Niding only 1 blocker up. They sat in the middle, and Niding one-on-one is going to put that away every time. 3rd in the country in hitting percentage, .464. The power from Niding. If you don't stop her at the net, it's going to be very tough to block. That's a really tough angle. Olsen sat on Bauer, 18-15. Jankowicz high for Maddie Robinson. Ballard Nixon with a nice dig. Quickly to Niding, timing wasn't there. Allie Olsen into the campfire. Well, in this block for BYU all over the place, I think you have Jankowicz doing such a nice job setting, and she's going so fast that the block feels like they maybe have to take some chances. They're jumping a little too early and not reading the ball. That's what happens when you run a quick offense. 18-16, BYU up. Set 4 of round 2 of the NCAA tournament. Maddie Robinson digs Aaron Livingston. Jankowicz, free ball swing from Drews, goes down. That is a massive swing. Oh my gosh. Cuts it to 1. Her 18th kill of the night. Incredible off-speed shot. BYU elects not to jump. They see her going off speed, but defensively no one there to dig it. They were thinking she was going to pound it. Threw the changeup for a strike. Kerber. Robinson is blocked. Ramirez still alive. What a play. Great hustle as Kerber is going down every time. She's cramping up. Yeah, Kerber is, she did this against Utah as well. She can barely walk right now. And she's done that before. She has trouble with cramping, not just in Utah matches, but overall. She tried to stay hydrated coming into this one, but it's been exhausting for Kerber, taking a lot of swings and passes and defensive work. She's trying to stretch that right calf. We'll see if she gets any swings as that one goes out from Niding. And if you're BYU and Kerber's cramping, you're hoping, and Kerber's staying in there, you're hoping you can get out of here in 4
But
right.
BYU does have an all-conference backup opposite, and Kate Grimmer, should they need it, we'll see.
You know Robinson's going to go right at her.
Yes, she does, and Kerber goes to her knees so she doesn't have to pass that with those calves. Reiner, this is tight on the net for Bauer. Joust, won by Bauer! Oh! She's 5'9", but don't undervalue her power. My goodness. That's a huge play here, 20-18.
Big time point. Bauer going up against two players. One of them, Danny Drews. You don't, I mean, yeah, win a joust off a middle, but not against
And then
Drews.
she goes out. Big
I think
miss
so
too.
much momentum and endorphin flowing through Bauer, and she served that 20 feet out of bounds.
And remember, she feels like it was her fault BYU lost in 2019, right? She's the freshman center. This is a huge match for her emotionally and personally. Of course, she's trying to help her team win. 20-19. The last time BYU lost a home match was that as well. Inside of the block for Erin Livingston. 21-19. BYU's 4 points away from the Sweet 16, but Utah right there, down 2.
And all volleyball teams in practice will play mini games, 5-point sets, just over and over again for this moment right here. It comes down to just 5 points for both these teams, more or less. Very, very short mini game.
Oh, McComber goes long. That's 2 critical service errors late in set number 4 here. BYU up 2-1. Utah ranked 16th in the country, BYU 5th. Megan Yett out. 22-20. 3 points away. The palms get a little more sweaty.
They do, and you feel the pressure obviously has been there, but these two teams have played with so much poise throughout this match.
This has been a tremendous match from both teams. And that one out, everyone just launching them out. BYU 3 in a row, service errors, 22-21. And again, BYU's won the last 2 by 3 and 2. This has been a tight match since that one when Utah won by 8. There's Danny Drews, perhaps the greatest Ute of all time. Kerber off the net, blocked and down. We're tied at 22. Huge block by Vanderwerf and Robinson. And you have to wonder how much Kerber can go here. And now Heather Olmstead's having a chat with her, and Kerber just said, I'm good, I'm good.
I mean, obviously, Kerber's not going to pull herself out, but it's interesting to see with Grimmer on the bench what decision BYU makes, as Utah definitely in control.
Okay, we'll be back on ESPN+. 22s at the end of set 4 here. Kerber cramping up. Danny Drews back to the line. Goes right at Kerber, of course. Knighting goes out. And Utah has the lead, 23-22. The largest lead in this set has been 4. And timeout BYU. 6 ties, 2 lead changes. As Knighting goes out, the nation's 3rd best hitter. And Utah's 2 points away from taking this. We'll be back in a moment. Utah's up 23-22 in an extremely tight 4th set. Utah's got to have it for the season to continue. BYU trying to get to the Sweet 16 right here. Ballard Nixon. BYU's not going to set Kerber probably with the cramping calf, so it's Knighting or Ballard Nixon.
Exactly, but Kerber cramping gets 2 sets or 2 passes that are nails in a row. Perfect passes.
23s, another deuce set. The last 3 have been tremendous, decided by 3-2 and 2. Kerber on the serve, really well done. Blocked, match point. Heather Knighting makes up for that hitting error a moment ago. And BYU's 1 point away from the Sweet 16. Timeout Utah. BYU is 1 point away after Utah took the 23-22 lead 2 in a row. And now everyone's going to be on their feet for the rest of this set.
I think for sure coming out of that, we knew it was going to be a battle. No one should be surprised We just get to enjoy this high-level play as both these teams duke it out. And then it comes down to, okay, crafting. When you call a timeout at this point, you're Utah. We need one play. We need one side out right here. What do we do? Danny Drew's in the backcourt.
Danny Drews.
Do you give it to her? Obviously, she has been your go-to for 4 years.
Yeah.
So look for that out of the back row, number one. But also, you get a pass up to the net, and those middles have been spot on. I wouldn't be surprised if Jankowicz goes with one of them, even though Drews is definitely got to be your go-to player.
Olsen and Vanderwerf have 12 kills on 18 swings. They've been really good tonight. Maddie Robinson's been awesome, 17 kills. 42 swings apiece for Danny Drews and Maddie Robinson. Aaron Livingston and Taylor Ballard-Nixon leading the way with 25 kills. Kenzie Kerber 6 for 24, hitting triple zeros. This has not been a great match from her, but she has passed well at the end of the set, as you mentioned. And Kerber, the script writers have written Kerber as the server here, as the former Ute. Cramping up, staying in there, match point to go to the Sweet 16 against her former school, Utah. Here we go. Oh! Drews ran into somebody, and then it goes out! It blew up in Utah's face, and BYU wins! Defeats Utah and Ford is going to the Sweet 16! Oh, that's a terrible way to end this match.
Unbelievable ending in what was an epic battle. Just heartbreaking for Utah to end it like that. But wow, I don't think Kenzie Kerber had anything left. She really is completely cramping up on that back line. Has a great serve to finish it off. And who else but Danny Drews to finish it?
Right.
But there's too much traffic. She can't get a good swing, and it falls out of bounds.
Oh my goodness, didn't get a clean look. She ran into Jankowicz, right? As that one went out. Maddie Allen with the good eye to let that one go, and
So
BYU
close.
wins. The Cougars are headed to their 5th Sweet 16 under Heather Olmstead. And they avenged the 2019 loss against Utah on this court. As we take another look here. So there's the pass. As Jankowicz sets it and then gets in Drew's way. Oh, that's a tough ending. If you're BYU, you're excited. If you're Utah, oh, that's rough. And Utah ends the season 22-9, second round of the NCAA tournament, third in the Pac-12. A lot to be proud of from this season. But I hate that that's the last play of Danny Drew's career in college. That's a tough way to go out. She was an amazing player. Congrats to Utah and Danny Drews and everybody. But tonight is BYU's night as the Cougars beat Utah twice this season. September 16th, and now a tough match. Look at those scores. The sets that BYU won were by 7 total. And you look at Utah was actually +1 in this match overall, and BYU will take on Purdue coming up next week. The 11th seed Cougars overall taking on 6th seed Purdue. The Boilermakers out of the Big Ten, tremendous conference, perhaps the best one. Winner will get the winner of Pitt and Kansas. So what a match we had here tonight for the 4,700, Amy.
Just an amazing opportunity to see two really high-level teams that could have met later in the tournament, but faced each other in the second round, playing at their best. Incredible volleyball.
BYU is 30-1. That's Taylor Heapo's dad. He always brings it. He played football at Utah, so he's got, emotions on both sides of this one as well. And BYU gets its 30th win, and it's the final home match for Kennedy Eschenberg and Taylor Ballard-Nixon and Kenzie Kerber and others. That will do it for us. For Amy Gantz and our crew, I'm Jerem Jordan saying good night from Provo. BYU beats the Pac-12 again and is headed to the Sweet 16.